Finally, my first Q&A video. Hello everyone and welcome to the ultimate channel for students. My name is Francesca and my aim is to help you have the best fresh start at university. I just came back from work and I couldn't wait to leave because I have been flooded with amazing questions that I've asked you to comment in yesterday's video. So I'm super happy and I have enough now to do a video, so let's dive in right away. But before we do, I do have 3 things I need to tell you. Number 1, sorry if this is redundant for those who already know, but if you're about to go to Exeter University, you want to be in my private Facebook group, which will be the only Facebook group with only freshers. Every other group will be spammed during summer by promoters 2nd and 3rd years, which happens every year. I mean, be part of them if you want to, but if you want a safe place just with people who are in the same boat as you, you will want to join my group. Second of all, please keep asking questions because actually a Q&A video would be amazing to do once a week, especially as now September is coming, so a lot of you have questions and I really want to encourage that. And third of all, if this is not the first video you've seen of me, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps more than you know, or at least like this video. Alright guys, now we can dive in and let's start with the questions. Okay, so Holly Netherlas says, hey there, got 2 questions for your Q&A. How lenient is Exeter? Can you talk about different societies like Raise and Give? Thanks, love your videos. Okay, so how lenient is Exeter? Exeter is usually quite severe, like either you meet the offer or you just don't get in. That's just how it is, so please have that in mind when you study for your exams. However, I do know a few people over the years who managed to get in although they didn't meet the offer, but it's super rare. So those who usually have a lower offer are those to whom Exeter has sent an email. Exeter doesn't do this for everyone. It just does it for courses that are not very popular or don't have a lot of students. So it's basically bribing the students to pick Exeter as their first choice, because they lower their offer only if you put as firm Exeter. So Exeter comes to you, says, hey, if you firm Exeter as your first choice, we will be super lenient with your marks, and instead of AA star, you can have ABB. And this has happened, but not to everyone. And then, as I said, not a lot of people go through if they don't meet the offer. It's very rare, but you can still try. And third of all, I know also of people who didn't meet the offer, tried through clearing, blah blah, but didn't manage, so they took a gap year and then reapplied the next year and they got in. So you see, like, there are different options. Also definitely consider clearing and calling them up and trying your best to get in even if you don't meet the offer, but you should definitely keep in mind that they are not super lenient. Okay, can you talk about the different societies? Yes, I can. So to just go over a few, snow sports is the most popular one because it's like crazy. People drink a lot in that and they are really like nutters, especially those who do skiing and freestyle and snowboarding. They do a lot of like crazy things, and the socials are super fun. So I know a lot of people who join that society not for the skiing and the snowboard spots, but more for the social part. So if you really want something a bit crazy-ish, snow sports is your guy. My personal favorite was surf when it came to sports, because surf was full of people who were my kind of vibe, super chill yet super fun. But they would not, it didn't involve always drink. If you didn't want to drink, you wouldn't drink. And then also Spanish society I loved a lot because, I don't know, I just love Spanish people. So there are loads of societies who represent different countries. So if you have a preference for a certain population that is not yours, for instance, I'm not Spanish but I love Spanish people, then definitely go to their socials, because it helps you A, learn a new language, because I learned Spanish by doing that, and B, it's super cool because everyone goes to the socials, usually of their own country. And the course, whatever course you do, really do join your course society, because sometimes you'll need help, and being in a society of your course helps you network with people who are in your course. So if you ever need help, sometimes you can always ask someone and not the same person over and over. So Raise and Give that you mentioned is free to join, and it's a charity one. So if you don't have much experience on your CV, you could do some voluntary work just so that you can start building that experience for your job applications later on, or for summer jobs or stuff like that. So yeah, Holly, if you have a more specific question, I will definitely answer that. Next question. Okay, so hey, it's Bea. Beatrice has asked me, or Beatrice, she's many nationalities just like me. It would be helpful if you could kind of talk of the process of writing a personal statement and any tips you have, since that's what I'll be focused on this summer. I will do a video just for the personal statement because it's quite long to explain, but I have a few tips that I can give you now just so I can answer your question. Otherwise, why am I doing a Q&A? First of all, I would say definitely look online for personal statements that succeeded, especially for the unis that you want to go for. So for instance, if you want to go to Exeter, go online and type in personal statements of Exeter students, or just personal statements in general, and then you see personal statements and they tell you in what unis they got in for each personal statement. And then try and understand the style of those who got into Exeter. Like, what did they talk about? Was it more academic, or was it more well-rounded? And it kind of gives you an idea. That's the first tip. The second tip I would give you on top of my head is to really make a list of all the accomplishments you've done. Even though you think they're stupid accomplishments or not good enough or whatever, I don't care, put them in. Even if it's not academically linked, it doesn't matter, put it in. I don't know, you won an award for a swimming contest, put it in. You led a team for an ecology project, put it in. Put everything you can in, because those will be ideas that could be useful while you're writing it. So these are my favorite two tips I like to say, because they really help a lot. But the list is something that not a lot of people do, and they're too shy or afraid to acknowledge their accomplishments. So definitely do that. And the rest of the tips, I will do them in a special personal statement video, because I know that you're not the first one who asked me that. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What is Freshers Week really about? Okay, so Alejandra asks, what is Freshers Week really about? Like, you get there and what exactly happens? Will someone explain stuff, or are we just supposed to know? As an international, I feel I'm gonna be really lost. Okay, so Alejandra, you're not the only one who is lost, trust me. So Freshers Week is basically a week before your courses start, where it's just a week that the university organizes for you to just settle in, really have the time to not think about your course. So yeah, so that's kind of the purpose of why it exists. However, it is known the Freshers Week is a week of partying. So every night all the clubs of the city are open, all the clubs on campus are open, loads of socials going on. And and for those who don't know, in England, there are societies that exist. Societies are basically little communities of people with the same interests that like to do the same thing, that organize stuff around that interest. So you have the cheerleading society, the rugby society, the dancing society, the business society, the marketing society, the Harry Potter society exists in Exeter, the Quidditch society, the baking society. Whatever society you can think about, there is one. And so these societies during Freshers Week, they organize taster sessions. So if you want to do yoga with body sock, you can do that. They organize during the day. So during the day, there's loads of events and loads of taster sessions. By the way, you will be sent a booklet before you start uni via email. You will be sent a plan of Freshers Week and of everything that you can do. So that is something that you can watch, so you can plan a bit what taster sessions you definitely want to go. And then at night there are loads of evening socials plus clubs that are open. So Freshers Week is known to be very party orientated, or very like discovery orientated, because everyone is there, everyone is like new, and they're all going crazy either in a club or at socials or at taster sessions. They try different things and so on. So that is what Freshers Week is. So I did do a vlog about it. Okay, I will put some links down below of videos that I think could help you. I also did a video about Freshers Week, like talking and then a vlog about it, so I'll link it down below. You should check them out if you want more details. Please comment below if there are more specific questions you would like me to go into, and for now I will move on to the next question. Oh my god, time is passing so quickly. Okay, so Yasmin, I heard about the racism incident earlier in the year. Is that common, or was it just a one-time thing? An incident that bad is a one-time thing. However, what I believe people from the BME community would agree with is that although these incidents don't happen at all very often and they're quite rare, they do face these kind of like, I would call it like soft or implicit racism, meaning even if people don't do anything or don't say anything, sometimes they would make a little comment about something that would make people from the BME community feel uncomfortable. Sometimes someone would treat someone a bit differently, like Nicole. I'm gonna link some videos down below for your questions, so definitely check them out, because I'm interviewing people who were in that situation, and you definitely want to check out what they have to say, because they're better at explaining this than I am. So for instance, Nicole in the interview, in the link that I'm gonna send you, she was paying for something, had her hand like that for the change, and the woman put it on the desk. Like little things like that that people pick up on. For these little things, it's kind of common, but for the big event that you've heard of, definitely a one-time thing. Like in the 4 years that I've been there, I never had such a scandal. So question 2, I know there's an option for non-alcoholic preferences in accommodation. Would that severely limit my choice and affect me getting my first choice accommodation? I don't think it would affect your getting your first choice accommodation unless your first choice is La Fraude, because La Fraude is known to have people who are more willing to party. So if you say, I don't want to drink and I want a quiet place, obviously they're not going to put you in La Fraude. I don't think that would be a bad thing unless you end up off campus. So make sure, if you said that you don't want to be in a flat that drinks or non-alcoholic preferences, make sure that you put in bold somewhere, I want to be on campus, because sometimes they do put people who don't like to drink off campus, and that is a shame, because off campus it's a different experience. If you're on campus, you're already in the bubble of uni, and if you like that, then you don't want to be off campus. I definitely did not want to be off campus. Halls is the place to be for me. I really wanted to explore and, you know, just and get to know things and in uni and be involved in uni as much as I could. I think it will affect somehow your application, but I don't know. It depends what they put, all the people who don't want to drink, you know. Your third question was, I don't drink, so would it be difficult for me in freshers because I've heard everyone drinks? Those are myths. Those are myths. Those are myths. A lot of people drink, yes, but a lot of people do not drink. In my last year freshers group Facebook freshers group, I had a lot of people who said, Francesca, I'm feeling very, I'm very like scared because I don't drink and I think I'm the only one. And then loads of people commented, I don't drink either, I don't drink either, do not worry, I don't drink either. Also, I didn't drink. I was someone who did not drink. I drank once a month on average. So I used to go out a lot without drinking. Everyone would come up to me and say, oh my god, how do you do it? You are not drinking, like how is it possible? But I just loved having fun with, and I didn't need to drink for it. So if you're a non-drinker, I've been there and literally nothing happens. There are a few people who are really in the fresher mood who will maybe put a bit of pressure and say, yeah, you have to drink, but all you have to do, what I used to do is like, I'm having so much fun, do I look like I need a drink? You know, I used to do that, but maybe you are shy, so maybe you do look like you need a drink or something. So in that case, you just say, no, honestly, like I don't drink. And then normally people, they back off because they, oh, she doesn't drink, so they respect that. And if they don't, then you just make a mental note that, okay, this person is not accepting who I am, next. So maybe that night you are around people who want you to drink, you don't, and then the next day you go with other people who are more respectful towards your views. But honestly, you're not the only one. I can promise you and guarantee you that for sure. A lot of people drink, but not everyone, I can tell you. And you're gonna meet people in my group who don't drink, so it's fine. What accommodation would you personally recommend and why? Good question. Oh my goodness, this Q&A video will be so long. So I would recommend, if you don't, okay, so I'm super biased. I loved Berks. I love Berks because although it's a pain in the ass when it comes to location, because you have hills to go up to go to the farm, which is 15 minutes up a hill, or even going to town is kind of a trek, is another 15-20 minutes. I really love Berks because it was its own little village and community where you have both catered and self-catered. This means that, and I was in a studio, so I had my own kitchen and my own bathroom, which at first I didn't choose because Exeter was my insurance, so I didn't get to choose my accommodation. So obviously someone as social as me didn't want to be in a studio, but actually it turned out to be really good because I am someone who was always around other people, and sometimes it's just good to go back to your own room, not having rules of kitchen or nothing, and just, you know, just chill and learn how to be independent, because I didn't know how to cook or anything. So I mean, and also by being in Berks when I didn't cook, because I really did not cook, and when I really did not feel to learn how to cook or to cook in general, I would just go to the canteen and eat with the catered people. I was not really allowed to do that, but some people, you know, they said, oh, I'll take an extra plate of something for you, or I'll take something for you, blah blah, and then we would eat. I would eat with them, or I would just sit around with the catered people, even if it's just for tea. I think it's sociable because you can engage with the catered community, but at the same time also engage with your self-catered community. So it's kind of the best place. Also, people were super fun. Berks people in general were super fun, but it's the biggest hall as well, so you do have a diversity of people. So in Berks, no matter who you are, you will find people who are more your vibe, whether you like to party or whether you don't like to party. It's definitely a community. There's definitely a community that you can like engage with. So Berks self-catered, I guess, is what I would go for. However, Lefrada would definitely be my second choice because, like, location wise, it's so convenient and it's big enough to meet so many people. So Lefrada is also a hall I definitely recommend, and I was in the business school, so Lefrada is super cool for that reason as well. Holland, I mean, Holland, I wouldn't recommend living there, but just because they have such a nice view, I would recommend making friends who live in Holland, just so that then you can go to prees there, because prees in Holland are really good. So if you can just like get to know someone who's in Holland and then get yourself invited to their prees, then that could definitely be beneficial. The thing I would definitely not recommend though is being off campus. Like, that's the thing that for me at least was absolutely no, but that's because I really wanted to be involved, and I do not recommend Doriad. And yeah. Okay, and your fifth question. I'm Muslim, so I'm wondering if there are any Muslims at Exeter or Arabs, and what is diversity like, because I've heard there's not much. So BME wise, there's not much diversity. So you will find an Arab and Muslim community in the Islam Society. It's a society that groups really all the people who share the same values and faith as you. I did interview a girl from that society. Definitely check her out. I'll put the link down below. Definitely like check her out. So there's definitely a community. It's not the biggest one, but it's definitely good enough for you to have a good life, because I've heard a lot of good things about the Islam Society from Latifa, who was interviewed by me. I hope I answered your question. Please let me know if I didn't. Do comment your question in the section. Another question about diversity. What is diversity like for international students, especially those from Asia? Are they mostly from Southeast Asia or Central? So I already actually answered that in the comment, but I'm just going to answer it for everyone else. I said diversity wise for Europe, it's super diverse. Diversity wise in ethnicity, it's very low level of diversity, especially for BME diversity. And then Asia wise, I would say the Asia community is the strongest after the European community when it comes to diversity. My business, of course, was packed with people from Asia, more China than anything else, but you do find also a lot of people from India. So I'd say the two countries that are the most represented are China and India. However, I did meet some Malaysian people, some Japanese people, and maybe there are not loads of them around, but there's definitely enough people just to like hang out with. I think the city which was super represented is Hong Kong. A lot of people were from Hong Kong, so yeah, that's also insight. So I really hope that that answered your question. Let me know if you need more specifications. So let's move on with Molly's question. Hi Francesca, I have loved watching your videos since before I was even deciding which unis I wanted to go to. Thank you for making all of these videos and the Facebook group. It really means a lot. Thank you, Molly, for saying this. It means a lot for me. Oh, recognition. I have 2 questions. Do you know anything about the swim society? Is it a closed group? And are training practices always available? Ooh, okay. Listen, I can tell you just one thing. I know Exeter has a swimming pool in St. Luke's, which is 25 minutes from Streatham campus. So St. Luke's is where people who study medicine usually stay. It's a bit far away, and I know that's where the swimming pool is, which is why some people do not engage in the swim society, because it's far. I personally have never met someone from the swim society, and I think that the fact that I never met someone from the swim society, or at least I didn't know they were in the swim society, says a lot. I feel that it's I don't think that's super sociable, because I honestly never met anyone, so that's really weird. Training practices should be always available. I don't think it's not at all a society that's in high demand. I think you can see I'm not really like, I don't really know, so I'm just gonna ask someone and hopefully I'll find someone for you. But like, honestly, I think that for that it will be kind of a exploring time for you to just see how that is. Okay, second question. Let's hope I can answer the second question. I want to have catered accommodation, preferably a single room, but the accommodation application says that they can't guarantee anyone a single room for any catered accommodation. What are the chances of getting a twin room? I think that the chances of getting a twin room in Lopez are slightly higher. If you're in catered Berks, you usually don't really get many twin rooms, but in general, twin rooms are not very common, so it's not something that will be like, I guess it won't be like a 50% chance. I haven't seen all of the catered accommodations and all of the rooms in every single hall, so obviously that's why I'm hesitating. But twin rooms are not something super common, because I've just met like less than 10 people that were in twin rooms, and so I'm sure that if there were more, I would have known that they were I would have realized I would have known more people who had twin rooms. But also, just so you know, if you go for catered and they give you a twin room, you can always switch accommodation. This is something that people don't really realize. It's not because you were put in one accommodation that you have to stay there. So definitely like see where you can move, because I've met so many people, so many freshers last year who moved accommodation, some from Berks to Holland. So if you really want to stay for catered, go for it, and just hope that you're not in a twin room. And if you're in a twin room, do your best to change. Molly, you asked some really hard questions, but I like it. It challenges me. Oh, hey, it's Bear is back at it again with another question. I love it. Having looked at the entrance fees for certain sports societies, it's quite expensive. So would you say it's worth it? I'm worried I would join and then end up not going often and having wasted something like £200. Great question. So this is something that actually is very true. A lot of people who think, oh yeah, I'm gonna try lacrosse, or oh yeah, I'm gonna try hockey, or you know, whatever, they think, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to go. But if you're going to spend that amount of money, I would say make sure that you definitely go to the training sessions, because if not, if you're really passionate about it, definitely join. That's my answer. If you know that specific sport is your passion, you should definitely join. But if it's something that you're just trying and you're not very sure if you want to do it, then I would go first to the free taster sessions during Freshers Week. So during Freshers Week, every society has a free training session normally, and I would just go to that, see if I like the vibe, see if I like the people, and then decide if I would spend that amount of money. Because if you're not sure if you're going to do that society and then end up with people you don't like, and you're definitely not going to spend more time there, then it's a waste of money. Also, if you're like me, if you're someone who doesn't really have a specific passion for a specific sport and wanted to try many things, I really would not spend that amount of money, because trust me, I was so involved in so many different things that I actually ended up not going to one specific thing a lot, and that would have been a waste of my money. Luckily, I never paid that amount of money. But yeah, if you have a passion for something, go for it. I never did, and I had a fun time regardless. Besides, not everything is £200. Surf Society is £40, and it's super cool. I love it. But yeah, I hope I answered your question. If not, please let me know in the comments. Mwah. This is something that's just come in as a comment. Hi, is it true that Exeter Uni has a lot of posh students? I quite see it often as in uni related articles and from student room. Thanks, lovely video as usual, and good luck on your 30-day challenge. Thanks, I'm trying. Hi again, I just read your description, just curious about Exeter Award and Exeter Leadership Award. You must be really brilliant. Could you tell us something about that? Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, funny story, but first I'm going to answer the posh situation. So it is true that Exeter does attract a certain crowd. It attracts people who are quite comfortable when it comes to money. So diversity in background and income stuff, there's not a lot in that respect, although I do have a lot of friends who are not posh, as you guys call them. Is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? Up to you. I do know that there were a couple of people who are anti-posh, and like, oh yeah, these fucking posh people, blah blah blah, and I understand their frustration, but hating on someone just because you know they're posh doesn't make you any better than the posh people who look down on you because you're not part of their circles. So, in my experience, I met a lot of people who obviously are comfortable with money, their parents are comfortable, and they were lovely people. I loved hanging out around with them. There was nothing wrong with them. Yes, of course, sometimes when you don't come from that background, there are some things that maybe they do that you're just like, how? Like, how can you think that way about money? Or how can you behave like this about, like, I don't know, maybe they spend a lot of money on drinks and a night out, and you're just there like, my goodness, you drink so much. Like, maybe that's your reaction, but at the end of the day, these people are all human, and these people are all decent people. Not all, but most of the people there are super decent people. All my friends were fine, yes, from all different backgrounds. I hang out with girls who were super posh, and you could see that they were from a certain background. I hang out with girls who are not, I dated guys who were not at all posh. They were very, very, like, a very different background. At the end of the day, my take on this is everyone is human. Everyone is in their own way from a certain background, but if you just are open-minded and are willing to debate with them and try to understand, you will realize that also your views will change on a lot of things. So there are people who were from posh families that came in to this uni and told me, Fran, if I would have known a few years ago that I would hang out with the people I'm hanging out now, I would be so outraged, because before coming to uni I used to think like this, and now I used to think like that. So do not disregard the fact that people come to university maybe with their set and their values and their culture and their background, but then they have a huge evolving of their character through the years in uni, and opinions change as well. So I don't see having posh students in Exeter as a bad thing, frankly, but that's my perspective. Maybe you have a different one, and I welcome a healthy debate. If you have a different opinion, please let me know. And again, we learn through different opinions and voicing our own opinions. So I do welcome any kind of thoughts you have about this. So getting into the second part, which is the Exeter Award and the Exeter Leadership Award. You must be really brilliant. No, I am super normal. Luckily for me, I got a grip with myself and I looked at opportunities with the career zone, and I saw internships and awards. So specifically in awards, the Exeter Award and the Exeter Leadership Award is super doable to have. I don't know anyone who has started the Exeter Award and started the Exeter Leadership Award who has not got it. You can definitely have it. It's super doable. All you have to do is go to a few extra lectures and do a mock interview, and that's it. For the Leadership Award, it's a bit more. It's also a presentation, but so doable, guys. So I can tell you, if I got the Exeter Award and Exeter Leadership Award, you can have it too. But it's insane because people get so whoa by the titles that they don't go for it, but once you actually go for it, you will laugh by how easy you can have it. So I would go, if you ever go to Exeter, please consider doing that. It really helped my CV a lot. Okay guys, I think this was like a 30-minute video. Goodness, editing this is gonna be a laugh. Anyway, so this was day 2 completed. Oh my goodness, I'm super happy. Guys, I'm so grateful that in less than 24 hours I had all these questions. I am so happy about the interaction on this group. Please keep going, please keep commenting, please keep helping other people if you have the answers in the comments. Just interact with each other. And guys, let's keep going. 28 days to go for my challenge to be finished. I really want to give good content for you guys. If you have any questions that are related to relationship stuff, or like love stuff, or even sex stuff, you can also ask me that. It doesn't have to only be about Exeter University. Alright guys, so let me know everything you need, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.
I'm trying to put you in the worst